economies are in decline, what do you buy if you have a large sum of money in your pocket? One answer may be that investment will turn inwards, that money will be pushed into trying to develop the domestic economies of those countries which have large sovereign wealth funds. That may be one answer.
There's clearly a shift towards emerging markets. The Japanese auto industry is still doing much better than some others. We still see some areas of strength in Europe, and then you have the new producers in China and Korea that are still doing very strong.
There are plenty of lessons to be learned, and certainly as an organisation we're absolutely determined to learn those lessons and move forward. There are lessons around becoming more transparent, about understanding what's happened in the market and learning lessons to get our methodologies even better in the future. There are things to be learned, and that's part of the solution. There's a lot of discussion of whether there should be regulation of rating agencies, and if the right kind of regulation that helps to instill confidence in ratings is possibly also an important part of the solution. But that doesn't detract from the need for every market player, rating agencies or anybody else, to learn from what's happened, to get better and take action themselves to put things right.
We do need to change, for example, our supervisory way of dealing with financial markets. We do need to change credit grading agencies. We do need to change our accountancy rules and recapitalization approaches. And having said that, there's quite a bit to do, and it is all over the place. We can't do it on our own. And the worst situation is when we would tackle this type of problems on our own. We are one single market. It is a jewel talking about the economic position on the globe. So let's do it together and let's start to tackle the problems.
Overall, we think this will blow over and be driven by the long-termish drivers for nuclear power all over the world anyway. And there was pretty much a consensus on that in the Energy Roundtable I just stepped out of. So.
I don't think aviation does deserve a bailout. I don't think it will get a bailout. I don't think it should get a bailout. I think the industry has to change. It needs to consolidate. The only thing we have to make sure is that there is kind of good consolidation where you have groups coming together to compete more effectively, and everyone benefits from that. The economies benefit from that. Consumers benefit from it. What we've got to guard against is that we allow bad consolidation to take place where groups are allowed to become too dominant, and that is not in the interests of, I think, many of the economies and many of the economies in Europe, let alone the consumers.
What's very different for the airlines is that they've just seen so much volatility in so many factors of their industry. First, fuel prices were going up rapidly. Now traffic is declining just as rapidly. It's been very hard to adjust.